Well, hello beekeepers. Aren't you glad it's spring and honey flow is on? Wow, it's going fast too. I tell you what, things are just starting to boom around here. Today I put together a video about all things beekeeping. It's a mixture of this and that and the other thing. A few clips you may have seen if you're a subscriber, but they're very short. The rest of them are all brand new. So take a look, enjoy, and get ready for spring. If you haven't got your bees yet, it's getting really late. So you better get on the phone, call the beekeepers, call the suppliers, call whoever you can who might be keeping bees. They might be able to tell you where you can get some bees this year. Got to get started. You're already late. If this stuff is going, the bees are humming, they're flying out there and getting all the nectar, and just the next couple months through June, well, it's going to be honey flow. So enjoy the video. Thank you. Hello beekeepers. I came out here to get my smoker fuel for next few months. Get it out here, get some pine needles and maybe a few sticks and a few pine cones. Things to start my smoker and keep it going. And today I came over here and I thought, well, I might as well put it on video. And we'll talk a little bit about getting started beekeeping. It's a little late if you haven't ordered your bees yet. I hope you've been studying up, because it's kind of hard to learn. It costs you money because you did something wrong. So let's get started getting some pine needles here, and we'll talk about all the other things we need to do as we go along. This is something you might not have thought about: a tote to carry whatever you need to carry. And that's, what, about $12, $14 at big box stores? And it's something you need to have. And I use it for getting my pine needles so I can keep them dry. So when I'm ready to use them, they'll be nice and dry for the smoker. Might throw a few sticks in. You don't want to put too many sticks in because your smoker gets too hot. You want to kind of cool smoke when you're smoking your bees. A smoker will run you about $45. That's one of the things you'll need to have. Keep your bees calm when you're going into your beehive. You don't want to be stung. You want to keep your bees calm. So you need that. So while you're at it getting your pine needles, it might be a good idea to get some of this really soft wood that breaks up real easy. Good rotten wood. That's really good for starting your fire and your smoker. Stuff like this, it just falls apart, and you put that in and you get your smoker started a lot easier. It'll keep it burning. But like I said, you don't want it to be too much of that because your smoker will get too hot. But this stuff that just falls apart is really good. I like it for starting my fire. Some of it, like this, might be too hard, so you go get what you can. And oh, here's Charlie. Come here, Charlie. How are you doing? Did you come over here to help? You wanted to go with me this morning, didn't you? Yes, you did. This is my golden doodle, Charlie. And he likes to come with me when I go adventuring to get pine needles and the like. There was a deer here, a female deer, that ran off into the woods, and he chased after her for a while, but I think she got away. How about that, Charlie? Did you catch a deer? She got away, didn't she? She's just too fast for you. Yeah, it's too hard there, so I don't want to keep that. Oh, there's a nice piece. This looks like just the right stuff. See, it just breaks off in your hand, and great for starting your fire in your smoker. And it might even be all right for a few pieces in the middle too, but I use it mostly for starting it. And I use the pine needles and to keep it going good without too hot. I don't want it to be too hot. So this will last me, probably 5 or 6 weeks. and different inspections that I do for my bees. And the nice thing about it is I picked it up now when the it's dry, and I can keep it. Oops, that was too hard. I can keep it nice and dry. Probably put it in the basement or somewhere where it's not going to be wet, maybe without my shop. So if it rains the day before, I don't have to go pick up wet pine needle and dry it out in the microwave or something. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. I didn't say that, right? Yep. Well, how about it? Are you enjoying spring? Let me know in the comments how it's going with you and your bees. Have you got started yet? Are you just getting out getting a few bees, or you got 3 or 4 hives, or you got 5 or 6, and did you make it through the winter without too much trouble? What they don't tell you is a lot of times, well, they do tell you too, that beekeepers lose their bees all the time. It's something you got to be concerned with, because every time you lose bees, you lose money, and that's not good. But probably before I'm finished with this video, I'll tell you a few ways to get freebies. If it's free, it's for me, right? That's just about enough to keep me going for a while. We'll check you a little later. Hey folks, have you ordered your bees yet? If you haven't, you're late. You're later. The forsythia is in bloom. Spring is here. And the redbud's in bloom. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And check out that red maple. The bees are going to be loving that. This red maple is doing its thing up against the Blue Ridge Mountains there. Don't you love that blue sky? And the daffodils are in bloom. The roses aren't far behind. The bees are definitely enjoying this warmer weather, this spring weather out here in the stump garden. And there is why I call it the stump garden. Now here's something you might not have thought about. You need to have something to put your beehives on, called a hive stand. There's many different ways you can do that. This one here is just made out of 2x4s. I made it up myself. I did find out that it's better to just put them on a couple blocks. I got a couple blocks here. I don't know whether you can see them or not, but blocks cost about $2.50, $3 now. A couple 2x4s, you know, you're looking at $10. So yeah, those are expenses you might not have thought about. But I thought I'd throw it in here and let you know. First thing you're gonna need is something to put your hive on. Now you can put it on a pallet. If you put it on a pallet, it's gonna be low to the ground. You may have to prop it up. It's better to have it a little bit off the ground. I like to have the blocks because the blocks are a little more solid, but any more bracing would slide over and the leg will fall off. Put 3 hives on it maybe. Just got to be careful there. I also use blocks around where I'm going to start my smoker because I don't want the forest to catch on fire. I keep that along with some water, so when I start my smoker, I can do it right there, and I can put it out there too, and I don't have an issue with fire. Fire is an issue with smokers. If you put it down in the weeds or the grass that's dry, or in the pine needles that are dry, you're liable to catch fire, so you gotta be careful with that. Now this is your typical Langstroth beehive, also known as the modern beehive, because it's got interchangeable parts. It can be used in many different configurations. Now we're going to go into a little more detail later on, but right now I just wanted to show you this. First of all, we have a cover. This is a migratory cover we use in commercial beekeeping generally. Then we have a super, and then we have a brood chamber. Now a brood chamber can be called a super, and it's kind of interchangeable, so that's just something that you might want to know. This is a bottom board, and then we have a reducer that goes in the bottom board. I brought this old toad along to show you a few more things while I was getting my entrance reducer. I want to show the entrance reducer here. It has an opening here like this, a little bigger, and then we can turn it this way and it's got a little smaller opening. And it goes in the front right like this. Now this particular one is made for an 8-frame beehive. This is a 10-frame beehive, so it doesn't quite fit. Now, in my kit, I have a hive tool, and I have a bee brush, a mite test kit, a few Swiffer sheets for catching small hive beetles, a jar with matches in it, and some fluid to fill the hive beetle traps. We'll talk about the hive beetle traps a little later. Also carry sugar water. The sugar syrup, I carry a bottle of it, and then I can put it in a jar and just put it right in the top of the hive there because there's a whole opening for it. Now, I usually use a much bigger jar, a quart at least. That happened to be a pint that I had handy here. And also, I use a pail to go upside down and let it drip into the hive. Let's move on to another location. Lighting a smoker is a pretty simple procedure. Stuck a little bit. Got my matches. We're gonna make this real simple. I hope. Real simple, I hope. Let's get a match. Now it's a little windy out here, so it might be hard to light. And I should have got a little paper. Let me do that. Oh, I know what I got. Yeah, I got one. A little toilet paper roll. I keep them for lighting my smoker. So my fire's going there. And as you can see, it's starting to burn here. So now we can put a few pine needles in there. A few sticks. More pine needles. That smoking doing good. One thing you want to make sure is you're not going to start a fire somewhere. You want to put your stuff where it's going to be away from anything that might burn. Today it's pretty wet, so I don't expect there's a fire going to be going on, but you got to be careful. There's been a lot of fires in western North Carolina, and rains, we hope, put some of them out. I think that's going to be enough smoke for now. I'll put these pine needles down. What I want is cool smoke. But there, that was easy. And we're good. The advantage to that is you keep the dry pine needles, or whatever fuel you're using. So I'm good there, and I want to put my lid back on, because if I come along later and kick it, matches will be all over everywhere. I think this was a peanut jar or something. It's got room enough to put your hand in. Apparently, it's not exactly easy to put the top on. Well, it is, but it's a puzzle. So there, I'm gonna go get my bee suit. Well, that was dumb. I had made all that recording without my microphone on. Good afternoon, beekeepers. This is a test. I'll make sure it's working this time. That's a nice sunny afternoon. I'm going to go into this beehive here. Let's see what's going on. Now, first of all, we have some ants up here. They're after sugar water that's in this pail. I'm going to use this box to put my frames in, at least for now. So let's see what's going on here. They haven't taken much of that sugar water there. I'll put that down. Let's just put it over here. There's 2 hive beetles in there. And looks like about 5 or 6 in that one. So my count is lower than it was, which is a good thing. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're still catching them. Bees are being really calm. Only one in there. That's just strange because these are crazy mean not too long ago. But they're just being really nice today. If it wasn't for the one that's flying around me, I probably wouldn't need a suit or anything. But they don't like getting stung. Oh boy, that's got some honey in it. I don't see anything on that. They put that in there at least temporarily. That's basically empty. And no queen. Get everything loosened up on this side. Come on, girls, move out of the way. I got stung the other day, yesterday, the day before, and it itched for 2 days. So I really don't like doing that. But comes with territory, I guess. I have to move some bees here, or else I'll squash them. All right, girls, come on down. You're in my way. I got a feeling we're going to reduce this to a single deep. That's got some honey in it. No bees even on that. They moved. That's got honey on it. We're good with that. No queen. Wouldn't expect her. Nice frame of honey here. One side. No queen. Honey and pollen. No queen. Now we got some rather spotty brood here. This is last year's queen, so that'd be the reason. They're all huddled down around a little honey there. Yeah, we're good there. New but spotty. I don't see any larvae in there either. And no queen. Now they're saying there's no queen in here. So maybe I do have a queen and she's in the bottom box. So they're certainly starting to roar in this box. Ah, we got some new larvae in here. No queen. Not much in that. They definitely could use some resources. I think I'm going to probably bring them some honey from up above. Maybe put some sugar water on them. I've got some honey stored. All right. See what's down below. I know you can't see, but I'm pulling the second frame out first because it's unlikely she'll be on the first one, and I don't want to squash her. Or as beekeepers say, roll the queen. No, we don't want to do that. There's very little honey in that one. No queen. There's honey in that one. No queen. Okay, girls, you need to go down a little bit. There's some brood on that. And there's some larvae. And it looks like there might be some eggs in there. So we definitely got to put this one back in the bottom. And I don't see a queen. While I'm at it, I'm going to put this one honey frame down in here. Yeah, these bees are much calmer than they were, say, 5 weeks ago. You know, could have been the weather. And more brood on there. But again, that's spotty brood. Whoa, she's been filling it in though. Alright, girls, go on down. More brood. Not much on that one. And the last one has very little in it too. And so today I don't see the queen. But we know she was in there 4 days ago because there's, oh, look at there. Some pollen in there. I think I'll leave that one in there. We know there's been a queen in here because there's larvae in here. So it only takes about 4 days for it to be capped over. So she's been in 4 days of having larvae in there. So I'm going to put this back together. And I think I might replace this one with some honey. This one here's got some honey. I'll put it down there for that brood. There's plenty of a drawn open comb here, so it's not like she hasn't got room to lay. Right now I've got 9 frames in here, and I didn't see any swarm cells, so we're good there, I hope. A little brood on that, we'll put it in there too. So if I can, I'll lift this up. And I would imagine it's not too heavy because a lot of open honeycomb there. Let's put this back on top. I finally put the top on that beehive that I didn't get filmed the other day, and there's a bug flying in front of my lens, so you may see him. There was a bee flying around there a few minutes ago, but she took off, and now there's a gnat or something that was flying right in the lens. Makes it kind of hard to do things sometimes. But I did finish putting up the lid on that. But I did finish putting the outer cover on that hive, and the bees are doing fine today, so we're going to wait and see what happens. And I'll probably make a new video next time that I go back into this hive and see if we aren't doing any better. I'm thinking about requeening. I don't know. That might be a case where that would be a good idea because those bees are really calm yesterday. I like that. I like calm bees. I think the one that's been trying to get me is the one on the upper row there. On the, let's see, that would be your right hand side. Yeah, that one. Hello bee, there's one flying around me right now. Oh, she's gonna go for my microphone here. Yeah, she likes that fuzzy thing. It's nice and black. And you know, bees think fuzzy things that are black are probably bears. So she's flying around my head now. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll subscribe. I do appreciate you helping me out here by doing that. And thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. And wow, those today I put together a video about all things beekeeping. Today I put the well, the bees are flying. I did get the cover on that one beehive I was working on, and I did get the cover on that beehive I was working on. Yep, it's a cloudy afternoon this afternoon, about half the time. And about the other half, it's sunny. But it's chilly, about 55 degrees, not bad. Well, I wanted you to know that I got the top on that